Spider-Man Far From Home is the first Marvel movie since Avengers Endgame, and although we're technically ushering in a new era of Marvel, this marks the end for Marvel's Phase 3. So, is Marvel's Far From Home any good? Let's see, or let's try to. So, Far From Home, the sequel from Spider-Man Homecoming. And as the title suggests, Spider-Man is indeed far from home. So it might be time-saving for Spider-Man fans to accept there aren't many cool web-swinging scenes from building to building like what Peter used to do in the Sam Raimi and the Amazing Spider-Man film franchise. Initially, I thought that this will be just, another Marvel film, with a Spider-Man twist in it. Although it has a mediocre story, Peter Parker is subjected to many learning processes and experiences that will prove invaluable for him both in his teenage life and his superhero future. And I love this aspect of the film because we are able to see Spider-Man grow both as a teenager and as a superhero. And what I love about this film is how they're able to make the teenager aspect of the film both organic and exciting. And because the teenage aspect of the film is indeed organic, teenagers like me can relate to be in Peter Parker's position. With that being said though, I can start to feel a Marvel fatigue kicking in. I mean, every year we have at least 2 Marvel films for us to watch. And we all know that these films, the normal superhero films, are nothing more than a stepping stone for the huge blockbuster, not saying this is not a blockbuster, but the huge lucrative crossover films like Avengers and so on. I can't help but think these types of films are low stakes. I mean, honestly, watching Spider-Man Far From Home, or you guys who haven't watched Far From Home, who watched Homecoming, do you honestly think that Spider-Man's gonna die? No, you don't. And with Marvel rarely innovating their normal superhero tales, you're starting to get worn out by these types of films. As always with Marvel soundtracks, they're pretty The VFX though in this film is really good. In fact, at some scenes, the VFX can be so entrancing and there's lots of Doctor Strangey vibes to it. Anything more than that will just straight up give you the spoilers, so I'm not gonna do that. With that being said, if you are a Spider-Man fan, you will like the film. You won't love it, but you can appreciate the amount of charm, humor, wit, and cool action scenes that the film has. But let's be honest to ourselves, what Marvel film does not have those combination of elements? The film though has enough twists to keep you glued to the screen until the end of the film. And yes, when I mean the end, yes, the end, you should watch the post-credit scene because it is super vital to the character of the Spider-Man franchise. In fact, because of the existence of this post-credit scenes, Spider-Man Far From Home has successfully raised more questions than answered them. And I suppose that's a good thing? Yeah, that's a good thing because the film ends on a high. So let's just jump into the conclusion. So should you watch Spider-Man Far From Home, provided you're a Marvel, Spidey, superhero movie fan? Yeah, you do. It's not really that much of a must-watch if you're just a casual person. In fact, I can even understand the point of view of those who prefer to just stream the movie illegally, just torrent the movie from home. Don't get me wrong, Spider-Man Far From Home is very enjoyable, and it has crafty action scenes, good dialogue, generally good characters, but it's just some sort of kind of like a potential wasted. And although the story is mediocre, it's enough to advance the Spider-Man character arc. With that being said, Spider-Man Far From Home is a 7.5 out of 10. And although I accept an 8 out of 10, anything more than that would be just biased. And Rotten Tomatoes, 93% Really? No. 93% is up there with Jurassic Park. Come on, stop with these BS, with these Rotten Tomatoes, man. It's ridiculous. This film would have been an 8 out of 10 had Marvel, had the MCU had just never existed, and this film drops out of nowhere. But since, the fatigue starts to kick in, it drops 0.5 points just because of that. And that's the Spider-Man Far From Home review. This is not your typical review, it's kind of quick actually. But yeah, I just want to keep this simple and just, minimize any sort of spoilers. So, with that being said, please subscribe to the channel, guys. It supports the show and it makes us want to make way more videos. You can see I'm kind of tired right now. That's because of the Toy Story. Thanks for the likes and the views, by the way. So yeah, bye-bye.